Jeremy, talk about TDCF stock. Jeremy.
Yeah. No, it's a good beat. Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance, everybody, and happy new year. And we're going to ring in the new year with a live stream where I'm going to e-beg for money. So I'm actually going out tonight. I'm going to a party. Yeah. I'm going to a party later tonight. So this stream will not be going until midnight. I'm sorry to break it to you. Okay. I sincerely apologize. But I know you wanted to see my handsome face at least one more time before we rang in the new year. So here I am, ladies and gentlemen, in this live stream. Because it's New Year's Eve, you get a little bit of a discount. You get a little bit of a flash sale that expires at midnight. Yeah. You either super chat me $8 or you Venmo me $7. See the pinned comment, and I'll talk about whatever you want. I know you guys like me to look at your stonks, your stoinks, but we don't have to talk about your stonks. Okay, it could be anything as long as it's YouTube appropriate. You want me to talk about how I comb my hair? You want me to talk about how much earwax I have? You want me to talk about, I don't know, women, whatever. $8 super chat or $7 Venmo. Okay. I recommend you Venmo, but I know it's hard. I know it's hard to click the button and then send $7. It's very challenging. So while we're waiting, we're going to hang out with the members. We're going to do member only comments. You want me to answer your comments? You got to be a member. I'm sorry. Are you mad? Does that make you bitter? Does that make you want to scream at me and call me nasty names? Well, guess what? I don't care. So I do have one in the queue already. Somebody Venmo'd me a couple days ago. And I said, be patient, young man. Be patient, you handsome man. We are going to do a stream pretty soon. But I had my kids, and then I've been busy at work. So I've been able to do a stream for a little bit. But now I'm here. All right, let's do some member-only comments. No brewski tonight? Yeah, I'm going out later. I'm going to try to control myself, okay? I'm going to try not to get too sloppy because I got to get up early tomorrow or decently early. You want to know why? Not because I have work, but because I'm a productive citizen and I need to get stuff done. So I'm out today at this place we're going. They have these balloons filled with money. And at midnight, they drop the balloons. And you pop the balloons, basically, and you can grab dollar bills out of the balloons. So I'm waiting until exactly midnight. They're going to drop the balloons. The dollar bills are going to be everywhere. People are going to be distracted, and old daddy's going to be on his hands and knees just scrounging up those dollars. Oh, man, I'm grifting hardcore tonight. But yes, I'll have brewskis later, but it's way too early. I don't like consuming beverages this early. I really don't, okay? It's not good for you. It's very unhealthy. Ryu, what's up, Wesley Mitchell? Oh, we got somebody from X. I've almost never seen an X comment. It's always YouTube comments. Sometimes I wonder if the X views are fake. Sometimes I wonder if the X views, so it says I have 14 live viewers on X. I think it's botted, personally, but maybe I'm wrong. Oh, Alan Carlson's in the house. Shocker. I wonder if he has a positive comment. You're already having to lower your super chat prices. Not a good sign. You might want to rethink self-employment. Bro, this is a special occasion. Oh, trust me, it's going up to $10. You think I'm joking? You think I'm joking? You think I'm bluffing here? Oh, yeah. Yeah. The super chat's going up to $10 the next time I do one of these grift streams. But Alan, you might be able to afford it tonight, man. Come on. $7 Venmo. That's all it takes. Yes, those 14 viewers are bots. Alan, your comment on Strongman's video destroyed him. A comment, I'm destroyed. I'm annihilated. I've been eviscerated. I've been exterminated. What was the comment? Along with this one, great job. What comment was it? And I saw a Venmo just came in. Stand by. I saw it. Thank you, Gil. Strongman never responded to me. I was right. Yeah, Alan, if I don't respond to one of your clownish comments, the only logical conclusion is that you must be right. Okay? That's the only conclusion. Maybe I just didn't want to respond to it, or maybe I didn't see it. Alan, Cashflow Kings got mad at me for pointing out they had to bash Jeremy and bring in a stock loss. Oh, Jeremy's a hero now in a raging bull market. VT had like 22% returns this year. Oh my God. It was so hard to make money this year. They also had to speculate and potentially lie that he's manipulating he does manipulate his performance. What are you talking about? Of course he does. I asked them for absolute proof and concrete evidence, but they could not provide any. I'm a member of your failing channel. You're supposed to respond to me. Remember, it's the only benefit of the membership. There's many benefits of the membership, and you're going to renew it, Alan. You're going to get a gold star because you're going to keep renewing your membership. He said I was a walking hypocrite. Oh. Yeah, when I saw that comment, I just collapsed. I just fainted. Mohammed, what's up, dog? For $4.99. Happy New Year, strong man. Excited for the Stranger Things finale. Is that coming out tonight? I've been watching it with the person I've been dating. I can only watch it when she's here. And we've started from season 1. And we're currently coming to the end of season 3. I mean, I've already seen it, but it's been a while. So it's good to refresh. And then eventually we'll get to season 5. I don't know when, but we will get there eventually. But yes, it's a great show. I'm like, man, this is a really good show. I forgot how good this show is. Okay. So, okay. I appreciate the $5 super chat. You are a good sir. He says it comes out at 8 p.m. Well, that might be a good time for me to end the stream. I'm heading out at 8:30. So I'm heading out to the club, bro. Yeah, I'm going clubbing, bro. Yeah. Well, thank you, Mohammed, for the super chat. All right, let's get into it. So we got one guy that requested Medline IPO. What in oblivion is Medline? But before we get to that one, I got to get to the other guy. Okay, but we'll get to yours right after. So the guy, he asked me. Let me pull up my Venmo. The question was, hold on. Hi, strong man. The subject I would like you to discuss is whether or not China is a mercantilist. And he said that in all capitals. Mercantilist nation. And whether that gives it an unfair advantage over us and the appropriate response. Thanks, brother. Well, depending on your political orientation, I'm sure that some people are going to say China is cheating us, and other people are going to say that they're providing us cheap goods. It really depends on your political orientation or if you have a brain. Okay, so the question is China a mercantilist economy? Well, I've got a great solution for that question, and thank you again, Mohammed. We're going to pull up ChatGPT AI, and I'm going to give you my genius perspective. So I am not an economist, okay, but I vaguely remember like studying mercantilism, and I think the concept is it's a very protectionist economic trade policy that a nation produces. And from what I remember, and I could be totally wrong, from what I remember, mercantilist economies were before, like, basically more prevalent in the last century. We have like nominally freer markets now, or free trade now. This might be coming to an end. But, over the past couple of decades, it was more of a free trade kind of thing, not major tariffs, blah, 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 blah. From what I remember from history class, a mercantilist economy, they focused on, trying to maximize as many exports as they could so they could hoard or keep as much gold in their own economy as they possibly could. That's what I remember from mercantilist economies, but don't quote me. So let's ask Google, what is a mercantilist economy? And we'll see if I'm wrong. I probably totally was. Mercantilist economy. A mercantilist economy is a system where a nation's wealth and power are increased by maximizing exports and minimizing imports, driven by strong government intervention to achieve a favorable balance of trade, primarily to accumulate gold and silver. I remembered that. This protectionist approach used high tariffs, quotas, and colonies to secure raw materials and markets, viewing trade as a zero-sum game where one nation's gain is another nation's loss. You know, I can tell you who thinks like that. Donald Trump, okay? And yes, I voted for him, but I still criticize him. Donald Trump thinks of trade as a zero-sum game. You're either winning or you're losing. So if I'm good at taxes and you're good at, I don't know, dentistry, and we exchange services, I guess somehow it's a zero-sum game. I don't know how that works, but whatever. I guess I have a trade imbalance, bro, because I'm spending more on the dentist than he's spending on taxes. So I need to raise my tax fees so I can make more money from the dentist than he charges me for my cleanings. So that's basically the logic. So let's go line by line. A mercantilist economy is a system where a nation's wealth and power are increased by maximizing exports and minimizing imports. China's definitely doing that. See, China focuses on investment and exports. That's their primary focus. They're basically trying to maintain dominance as an industrial powerhouse. I personally like that concept because a nation that has a huge industrial base and makes a lot of other nations dependent on their goods does have a lot of power, okay? Especially if there's a protracted war. If there's a protracted war, a heavily industrialized nation that can churn out a bunch of industrial tanks and arms and naval boats and just produce and produce and produce, yeah, they probably have an advantage in the long run, okay? So I think if we ever went to war with China, it better be quick. That's all I'll say, okay? And minimizing imports. So, I mean, they definitely try to maximize exports because they're trying to basically be the factory of the world. Driven by strong government intervention. Now, I mean, obviously their government intervenes in their domestic economy. Their government definitely subsidizes industry to achieve their desired ends. To achieve a favorable balance of trade, primarily to accumulate gold and silver. I honestly don't. I mean, I know China's been accumulating a lot of gold. Why they're doing it, I don't know exactly. Maybe I'm sure it's for multiple reasons. But recently, for the longest time, they mostly accumulated treasury bonds. That's what they were doing. So they would make products, they'd ship them to America. Americans would send them dollars, and then China would take those dollars and they would buy treasury bonds. So it wasn't, at least in the past, it was more to accumulate treasuries. And more recently, it seems they've pivoted to try to divest from treasuries and instead stockpile gold. That's what it at least seems like on the surface, but I'm not a geopolitical genius. This protectionist approach uses high tariffs. I honestly don't know what China's tariff rates are. I would imagine America's tariffs are actually higher now. Quotas and colonies. So China, I guess they have, I guess you could maybe call them, I mean, they're investing in a lot of other countries, especially in Africa, because Africa has a lot of raw materials, and they definitely have a huge presence in Africa. So I guess they could be quasi-colonies. I don't know. And then viewing trade as a zero-sum game. I don't think they necessarily see trade as a zero-sum game. I think Trump does, okay? So they do have a favorable balance of trade. Government regulation, strong state involvement, okay. Colonialism, not to the extent of Europeans. Accumulation of bullion. I mean, it seems like they are. Seems like they're trying to divest from treasuries. Nationalism promotes economic self-sufficiency. Yes, China definitely does that. And then, of course, historical context. It was prevalent in Western Europe. And it was later criticized by Adam Smith, who likes free trade, bro. So, there's some overlap, obviously. There's definitely some overlap. And then he says, does it give them an unfair advantage? I mean, it depends on what advantage you want. Okay? I mean, nations decide what they want to do. They make calculated decisions about how they're going to run their economy. Is it unfair? No, America decided to outsource a bunch of its industry. That was a conscious decision. They decided to have low tariffs until Trump came along. That was a conscious decision. Is it unfair? I mean, all nations compete with each other. That's what nations do. Oh, they're cheating. Yes, nations compete. Really. Just like people compete. Okay? And sometimes it can be unfair. People try to use advantages to suit their self-interest. Shocker. America does it. China does it. Is it unfair? It's a power game. Nations have always done it, and they always will. That's my opinion on it. So yes, it seems like there is some mercantilist stuff going on in China, but I can also see that in the U.S. I mean, the U.S. obviously we're trying to maximize imports because then we'll be making money, bro. According to Trump. To accumulate gold and silver. I mean, America has a ton of gold already, supposedly. And I think we're more focused on Bitcoin, bro. At least mimetically we are, to suit the Bitcoin donors, the crypto clowns. High tariffs, America's doing that. Quotas, I'm not sure. And then colonies to secure raw materials and markets. I mean, we basically have colonies. Basically, like, a lot of the world just does what we tell them to do. Because if we don't, we'll give them freedom. We'll be America. Yeah. You do what we want, and we're going to overthrow your government. Yeah. Give you diversity. Yeah. Ugh. Okay. So, that was that. Next, we need to talk about Medline. All right. So he says, Mr. A says, Medline IPO. Medline IPO. Is Medline a buy heading into 2020? Is this publicly traded already? Medline stock? Medline. So it looks like it IPO'd on December 17th. IPO'd at $41. Dropped to 39.5, went all the way up to 44.28, and now it's trading around 42. Okay, so it didn't collapse instantly after IPO. I guess that's a good thing. I wonder if I could find their offering statement. Well, let's see. What do they do? What does Medline do? They manufacture medical. Medline manufactures medical supplies. I would never have guessed that. From surgical products and wound care to durable medical equipment, serving hospitals, clinics, and consumers globally, while also providing supply chain solutions to streamline healthcare logistics and improve efficiency. All right, can we see some financials? Find me Medline's most recent financial statements. Don't fail me, Google. I'm stressed. All right, let's just go to investor relations. Actually, let's see if stock analysis somehow has the information. I'd be shocked, but maybe they do. Okay. It's a perfect triangle. Look at their stock chart. Wow, they actually have their financials. I mean, I hope these are accurate, but I guess we'll just go with it. Okay, so they have their financials going back to Q1 2024, but here they have 2022. Is there a scroll bar? Is it not showing all the quarterly? Why is it not showing me before Q1 2024? Whatever. Okay. So revenue has been growing pretty impressively, 15% year over year. That's good, assuming these numbers are accurate. Never purely trust stock analysis. Okay. Obviously, you want to look at the actual financial reports. Gross margin has been pretty consistent at about high 20s. Operating margin, roughly between 8 and 9. Okay, consistent. Profit margin, mid 4s, and free cash flow margin. So, I mean, it's a profitable business and it's been growing revenues pretty decently. So, if they can continue that, that's a good thing, right? Now, here's an interesting thing right here. Look at their operating income and look at their interest expense. So half of their operating income, roughly, or maybe like 40, 45% of their operating income is being consumed by interest. So that means the bondholders are making it out like a bandit. Okay. They have a decent amount of debt on their books. Let's see. All right, let's look at liquidity. So they have $1 billion in cash and short-term investments. Does this reflect the IPO? I don't think it does. Yeah, because you'd see a positive number on the financing part of the balance sheet. So it looks like before the IPO, they had $1 billion of cash and short-term investments, $3.4 billion of receivables, $9.5 billion of current assets, of which basically half is inventory, and $2.6 billion of short-term debt. So plenty of liquidity. And if they got a bunch of money from the IPO, I'm sure they're fine on a liquidity standpoint. All right. Long-term assets. They got $4.5 billion of property, plant, and equipment. A decent amount of goodwill, $8 billion of goodwill. That's from acquiring other businesses. And a lot of intangible assets, trademarks, patents, et cetera, et cetera. So a lot of their long-term assets are mostly intangible. They got a lot of debt, man. $16.5 billion of debt. Woo! Why? They must have. It must be an acquisition. It's harder to see because they don't have all the data here. Okay. Looks like they just refinanced a ton of debt. Yeah, they refinanced a ton of debt in Q3 2025. Why did Medline add so much debt? What if it tells us if it was an acquisition? Medline added so much debt primarily to a massive $34 billion leverage buyout by private equity, where borrowed money was used to take the company private, heavily leveraging its assets for the acquisition. Yeah, they definitely did. Half their operating income's going to interest. Increase their balance sheet debt with a large chunk of earnings going to interest payments. Oh, yeah. A situation partially addressed by the proceeds from its recent record-setting IPO, which helped pay. Okay. Yeah, because they definitely got a bunch of cash. The significant proceeds, so they generated $6 billion of cash, and they paid down their debt from roughly $16 billion to $12 billion. Okay, that's good. So, what's the debt they're showing here? Okay, so they're showing $16 billion of debt here. So their debt went down by approximately. Okay, so it takes 71% of the most recent interest expense. This is just an estimate. I'm trying to guess what their next quarter's interest could be using very rough math. So, assuming all the interest rates are the same, their interest expenses dropped quarterly from 248 down to 177. So, that's a pretty positive improvement. And really not a bad use of the cash that they got. Okay. The debt was a deliberate, which part? Okay. I mean, it's a profitable business with growing revenue, and they paid off a ton of debt. So the only, I don't really like their balance sheets, to be perfectly honest. I mean, their liquidity's fine. They're cash flow positive, but they have a lot of intangible assets. And they still have a decent chunk of debt, $12 billion. That's a lot of debt. So what their plans is, I'm not exactly sure, but it's not the worst company in the world. It's not a clown stock, okay? That's my observation. So still a lot of debt, but definitely improving. All right. Let's see. Let's go back to the stream, bro. Woo, we got the cheddar flowing in, baby. We got the check. I'm getting my check. Oh. All right. Next super, my ooper. Huey for $8. Thank you for your generous super chat. OBE. See, nobody likes the fun question. Everyone wants to talk about stonks. Chris, tell me about your Army experience. Tell me about your gym routine. I wish people would ask me those questions. I'm just kidding. I appreciate all your... What in the heck is this? What the hell is this? All right, let's... Obsidian Energy Limited. Wow, it's up 800% in 5 years. On the year, it's up 10%. Year to date, it's up 5%. But over Max, it's down massively. Okay, so something very nasty happened to this company. This is not a pretty stock price, a pretty stock chart. All right, so it's got a market cap of $414 million on trailing revenue of $441 million and net income of negative $170 million. But they have a forward PE of 6.98. Oh, it's another you love these type of companies, dude. You love these type of companies. All right, so it's one of those freaking exploration companies for oil and natural gas in Western Canada. Its portfolio consists of properties, unitized and non-unitized light oil, heavy oil, and natural gas production. Let's go to the website. Okay. Third quarter results. How do they do? Okay, this is already hurting my head. Let's just look at the let's just look at the financials on here. Holy smokers! Look at that revenue collapse. Woo! We got to ask AI why. Why did Obsidian Energy's revenue drop so much recently? Isn't this tool awesome? Isn't this awesome? And you should always trust it. Their revenue dropped due to the disposition sale of its Pembina assets, which lowered its production volumes, combined with lower realized commodity oil prices. They closed the sale of its Pembina assets. The sale removed a significant portion of its daily production. Why did they sell it? The asset sale was a strategic decision by management to reduce debt and to improve financial flexibility. Okay, so they packed on too much debt. They had to sell off a ton of assets, massively reducing their production. The proceeds were used to pay down a large portion of its credit facility debt. Doesn't that seem like an act of desperation to you? Like, oh, we have all these we have this land and we're getting all this oil, but now we got to sell it because we have too much debt. That sounds like a desperate act. Despite the short-term revenue drop, the company is focused on developing its core Peace River, heavy oil assets as it reports positive early production results from new wells. Okay, well, let's see how it went. Okay, so that's why the revenue dropped. They had a disposition. Let's see what that did to their margins. So they disposed of this facility and their margins have been contracting. I mean, you would think if like you had a bad investment and it was hurting your margins and you get rid of it, you know, you would hope your margins go up. But they're having a hard time with oil prices, looks like, and selling that field or whatever didn't help their margins. I mean, they're still pretty profitable. I mean, they had some kind of large write-off in the fourth quarter of 2024. But in general, their operating margins are actually pretty solid. 22%, 21%. Profit margins, I mean, they've been consistently profitable except for whatever happened in Q4 of 2024. Free cash flow margin, you can see it's contracting over time. Let's see. Let's look at their cash flow statement. All right. So operating cash flow is significantly contracted, a large part of which is probably due to disposing of that field. Capital expenditures. They made some significant expenditures in the last couple of quarters. Yep, we see the sale here. So they generated $210 million of cash on the sale. And then what did they do with it? They paid off $128 million of long-term debt, and they bought back stock. Okay, so I guess they didn't want to pay off all their debt because they spent $36 million to buy back stock, which is more than the other quarters they've been doing. They have a dividend? No. I don't see a dividend. All right, let's look at their balance sheet. Oh my God. 1 million Canadian dollars of cash? Why do they have such low amount of cash? That's crazy. What? They're playing a crazy game here. 1 million of cash. That's it. 60 million of okay, I guess this is the same thing. So 61 million of receivables, 88 million of liquid assets, the vast majority of which are receivables. Short-term debts. Wow, that's crazy. So they have 100, as of the most recent quarter, they had 149 million of accounts payable and 1 million of cash. So they're basically collecting their receivables and they're paying off the short-term debt and they're collecting receivables and paying off bills. Like they're running a really tight ship. I mean, I guess they have a credit line, obviously, but that is a extremely low amount of cash they have. All right, let's see what happened to their debt. Okay, so they paid off about half of their debt. Why didn't they pay off more? I mean, why do they have to do buybacks? Like, get rid of the freaking debt. Let's go see how much the debt is consuming from their operating income. Okay, it's not. Let's see, in the most recent quarter, their interest consumed 20% of their operating income. And then before they did that disposition, interest was consuming 26% of their operating income. So a little bit of an improvement. Why do they have this huge loss in Q4? It's not really telling me. Let's see if there's something on the statement of cash flows. Okay, they took a huge depreciation amortization expense in Q4 of 2024. Let's see why. Why did they take a huge depreciation expense in Q4 of 2024? Oh, I guess they lumped in an impairment charge. Okay, so they took a charge. So the asset that they sold 2 quarters ago, they took a huge charge. They took a huge non-cash charge. This was not I don't know why they lumped it into depreciation and amortization. That's a weird way to classify it. A revaluation of the assets based on the okay, so they just had a horrible investment. So they've divested a seemingly crappy performing asset. And yeah, they took a huge charge for that. So it's kind of like a turnaround play. I mean, okay, they got rid of this land and you know, they took a hit and that was bad, but then they took the money and they paid off half of their debt. And now their interest expense only consumes 20% of their operating income. Maybe it's a turnaround play. I guess that's the conclusion. I mean, the biggest observations that I saw, their cash balance is crazy. I mean, they're definitely probably dipping into a credit line a bunch. a bunch to stay afloat. And that obviously costs money. But I mean, it could be a turnaround play. I mean, are you hoping that like oil prices go up and this company rips? I mean, maybe. But in general, they've been profitable. The reason it's negative is because of that sale and that huge hit they took. So, I mean, maybe it can do well. I don't know, but this is not really my type of thing. Like, I don't know. If I'm going to buy like an oil stock or an exploration, I would just buy a sector ETF. Personally, that's what I would do. Not financial advice, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe they turn it around and maybe oil prices go up and everything goes hunky-dory. I mean, it's possible. Interesting. Okay, so that was Obsidian. Let's see. What do we have here? $11.11 Canadian dollars. Let's see. Let's do the conversion here. Let's see how much you grifted me. What is 11.11 Canadian dollars in USD? $8.09. I grifted you out of 9 cents. How does that make you feel? Are you mad? Are you getting flustered right now that you gave me 8 cents more than you had to? I'm just kidding. Thank you. All right. MRUT Metro Inc. on the TSX. Another was this Canadian. Not U.S. listed, so note that the financials are going to be in Canadian dollars. Happy New Year. Yep, happy early New Year. Same to you, buddy. All right, let's go check out MRUT. I hope it's on stock analysis. MRU. I guess this is it, right? I think this, Metro Inc. All right. So, yes, the currency is in Canadian dollars. Excuse me. 21 billion Canadian dollar market cap, 22 billion of trailing revenue, 1 billion of trailing net income, PE of 21, forward PE of 18. They have a dividend. Okay, so profitable company. Yeah, good. Stock's been doing pretty good. I think it's roughly matched the S&P. Let's go look at the S&P, bro. What has food done in the last 5 years? Okay, so it's underperformed VU, but not by much. Metro Inc. All right. Let's see. What is this company? It operates as a retailer, franchisor, distributor, and manufacturer in the food and pharmaceutical sectors. That's an interesting combination there. You want some food and you want some pharmaceuticals? You get all nice and full. Your tummy's all full, and then you pop some pharmaceuticals and you go to bed. They operate supermarkets, discount stores, neighborhood stores, specialized stores, and pharmacies that provide fresh and grocery products. Okay. Let's see. Is there a website? Let's go. Let's Google. I want to see this company. Metro Inc. Canada. Store. It's a grocery store. That's cute. Wow. Okay. Is this like the Walmart of Canada? Okay, look at this. The lady's happy. She's smiling. It's a nice looking store. All right, let's ask them some questions. Where are their stores primarily located? How many stores? I mean, it says it right there, but let's see if this gives us more details. They're in the provinces of Quebec and Ontario, with a few in New Brunswick. They operate about 1,000 food stores and 638. So it's like a Walmart, Walgreens fusion. I mean, Walmart has a pharmacy, but you get what I'm saying. Okay. So they have a bunch of different brand names. Jean Coutu, Brunette, Metro Pharmacy, Food Basics Pharmacy. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's go look at the financials. All right, so it's got like Walmart levels of revenue growth. Okay, I mean, it's keeping up with inflation, 3.45% year over year in the most recent quarter. I guess their best quarter is always that ends July 5th, 2025. You would think it'd be like, actually, I don't even, why would that be? Why is their highest revenue quarter always mid-year? Due to the structure of its fiscal calendar, which places its longest and most consumer-heavy period during the spring and summer months. Seasonal shopping peak. Metro's Q3, usually ending in early July, captures a transition from spring into peak summer barbecue and outdoor entertaining season. This period sees a surge in higher margin fresh products, meat, and seasonal items. And they also get a pharmacy boost due to cosmetics and health products. That's interesting. Usually you see like revenue peaks in the fourth quarter, like holidays. I need to go buy a bunch of material goods for people. Okay, that's interesting. Let's look at margins. Wow, they have very consistent gross margin. Just like it's like a straight line. Look at that. Solid operating margins. I think they have better margins than Walmart. Yeah, let's go look at Walmart's margins real quick. Actually, we'll just pull up another tab here. I think they have better margins than Walmart. Maybe I'm wrong. Walmart's got a PE of like 10 trillion. Yeah, Walmart's got like in the threes. And then they have better profit margins than Walmart. EPS growth has been pretty impressive. They're doing share buybacks. Look at that. Look at that. Just going down and to the right. All right, let's look at their balance sheet. $67 million of cash, $866 million of receivables, inventory, $2.6 billion of liquid assets, $2 billion of current liabilities, mostly accounts payable, a little bit of leases. Let's see, long-term assets, property, plant, equipment going up. They're opening new stores. Goodwill. Okay, I guess they haven't had a recent acquisition, or they haven't had an acquisition in a while. Long-term debt. So they got $2.9 billion of long-term debt. How much is that costing them? I mean, that's not a bad debt profile. $2.9 billion of debt on $5 billion of tangible property, plant, and equipment. It's not bad. Interest expense only consumes about 10% of their operating income. So the debt's really a nothing burger. It's a solid company. I mean, I got nothing bad to say about it. I don't know if you're going to beat the market with this, but it's a solid company. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. It's just nothing bad to say about it. All right. Interesting. I didn't see any like huge red flags. Oh my God. All right. One membership, a gifted membership. Thank you. How kind of you. Oh, you changed your name again. The Massively Major. Let's see if we got any Venmos. No Venmos. You guys don't like Venmo. You guys do not like Venmo. Nope. All right. I guess nobody loves me. Everybody hates me. But I appreciate the gift. Who's a lucky member? Let's go see. Who's the new lucky member? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. God. I've had this lingering cough. So annoying. I think I got the vid. All right. Somebody named Rich Buddy. You are the newest member. So his name is Rich Buddy, and he has a clock as his profile picture. Welcome to the membership, Rich Buddy. You're a true American hero. Thank you very much, the Massively Major. You are the last person doing rugged individualism. Nah, You'd be surprised. There's a lot of people that start their own businesses. They just don't have a YouTube channel, which I don't know why you wouldn't have a YouTube channel. Okay. If you want to grow a business, social media is very useful. It's very useful. Okay. Why would you not have a social media presence? It's free advertising. I can shill my taxes. Oh, by the way, I'm a CPA. Oh, by the way, you can book a free 30-minute consultation with me. I'll go over all your past taxes. I'll give you an upfront fixed quote for all future services, and I'll do your taxes any state in the United States. Yeah, see, I just said that on my channel, and I'm getting paid ad revenue to shill my tax services. Tax season's coming up, baby. I've been closing new clients. It's been wonderful. This is going to be a good tax season, daddy. But thank you for the super chat and the gifted membership. All right. Hui for $8. TDRRF, you oil-hating VT shill. I don't hate oil. I got nothing against oil. It's just like, I don't, not a fan of like, I'd rather just buy an index. TDRRF. What is this? What is this? Tudor Gold Corp? Oh, here. Okay, this is a funny one. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh. Okay. I'm a bad person. It's like, wow. Market cap of 270 million. This looks familiar. I feel like this has been shilled on YouTube. Let me ask AI here. Let's see if Google AI, which is cooler than Chat GBT, oh, by the way, has Tudor Gold company been shilled on YouTube by YouTube finance influencers. Shield. What does shield mean? While some online discussions use the term shill in reference to Tudor Gold, the publicly available information on YouTube consists primarily of corporate interviews, investor updates, that's shilling, and content that may be sponsored. The majority of video content found on YouTube are formal interviews with Tudor Gold's president and CEO, Ken Conklin, and other companies' representative, hosted by financial news and mining-focused channels like Kitco Mining and Red Cloud TV. Yes, I wonder why they're shilling. Could it be to issue stock? No, that can't possibly be the reason. Let's go see if we can find it. Hold on. Tudor Gold. Okay. So we got this guy here. He looks like a little weirdo. What is it? Ex-gen investor? Tudor Gold, game-changing high-grade gold discovery. The man behind Canada's third largest gold producer explains why Tudor Gold is next. Let's see. All right. So we have this natural resources stocks, and we have this very bald man interviewing him. Let's see if this is quiet. Let's see if this is a shill. Is there any disclosures that this was an ad? I mean, I don't see an ad. I don't see a disclosure. He provides no. I'm trying to see if this has been. I mean, it looks like some people have covered it, but I'm not seeing any. Oh, this is sponsored, bro, or I was compensated, bro.
We've got low.
That guy's voice is weird. All right. Yeah, I don't. Do they not have to disclose it in Canada? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. All right, well, it could have been shilled. It could not have been. I don't freaking know. Okay. Anyway, $270 million market cap. Trailing revenue. Not applicable. What does that mean? They don't have any revenue. Net income, negative $2 million. EPS, negative 1 cent. No forward PE. Tudor Gold engages in the exploration and development of mineral properties in Canada. The company primarily explores for gold, copper, silver, and other precious metals. Its flagship product is the Treaty Creek property, covering 18,000 hectares in the Golden Triangle of British Columbia. God. This company's, okay. No revenue. The first line is cost of revenue. Okay. Legal settlements. Why'd they pay a legal settlement? What legal settlements have Tudor Gold paid? Okay, they paid $2 million to insiders for a recent acquisition, a debt for shares, but it says, were there any in 2023? Are you failing me, AI? Okay. Well, apparently they did do a settlement. They paid out some money and issued shares for an acquisition. Anyway. All right. So no revenue. No revenue. Let's see. Balance sheet. So they got 7.5 million Canadian dollars of cash and short-term investments. And you could see like their cash balance collapses. Then they do a share issuance. Then their cash balance collapses. Then they do another share issuance. How much have the shares increased over time? Yep, massive dilution, especially in the most recent quarter because of this acquisition that they did. So, I mean, okay, they got 7.5 million of cash, and they're burning around $1 million a quarter in operations, but also doing capital expenditures. They're going to have to probably raise, if they keep up this amount of money they're spending on capital expenditures, they're going to have to raise cash soon again. I mean, they don't even have revenue. Of course, they're going to have to raise freaking cash again. All right, so they got 7.5 million of cash, 8.3 million total of liquid investments, 1 million of current debts. Huge increase in property, plant, equipment from the acquisition. 221 million. Debt. Okay, I don't see any long-term debt. I just see leases. Okay. What is it about this? Like, why is this appealing to you? This is like a highly speculative company. Highly speculative. All right, let's see if AI can sell this on me. What is the bull case for Tudor Gold, which is massively unprofitable and has zero revenue? Come on, AI, answer my freaking question. The bull case for Tudor Gold centers on its tier 1 asset status. What? It's a tier 1 asset? How? And high probability as an acquisition target, despite its current lack of revenue. Its value is derived not from its sales, but from the massive mineral inventory. All right, so they have the Treaty Creek project, the mineral inventory, hosts an indicated resource of 27.8 million ounces of gold equivalent and an inferred resource of 6 million ounces. I don't understand what that means. All right. High value project consolidation. Aggressively moved to simplify its ownership structure, making it more attractive for a potential buy. Is that what you want? Is that your plan? You just want them to be bought out? They acquired American Creek Resources, increasing its ownership in Treaty Creek from 60 to 80%. And it's in negotiations to acquire the remaining 20% interest held by, okay, so they're trying to buy the entire treaty. They're trying to own 100% of Treaty Creek. That's what they're doing. All right. Let's see. Takeover target. Macro tailwinds. Okay, we know gold's going up a lot. When does this company expect to start generating revenue? I bet you by the time they do, watch gold implode. Does not expect to generate revenue for the foreseeable future and is still in the early stages of mine development. Okay. They don't even have a date set for production. Dude, this is no. What are you doing? What is this? Okay, I mean, like, sure, you get lucky. Maybe they get acquired, or maybe down the road they finally start generating revenue in 2029, and then maybe gold's 10,000 an ounce by then, and they start minting profits. Okay, maybe. But this is highly speculative. It doesn't even have revenue. Come on, people. And they're going to have to keep issuing freaking shares. Massive amounts of shares. So the share you buy now, your ownership of the future profits is going to be massively diluted. Massively. And they're looking at acquiring 100% ownership of their site. So that's probably going to be more shares issued. No, I'm not a fan of this. I'm sorry. It could go up. I don't care. I would never buy something like that. All right. Poet. Are you a poet, sir? You gonna sing me some rhymes? Are you gonna shoot some verses at me, bro? All right, poet. I'm a poet. Poet Technologies. Okay, 834 million market cap on trailing revenue of 762,000. What is the price to sales of this? A price to sales of almost 1,100. In FY 2024, the price to sales was 10,975. This makes Palantir look reasonable. Okay, so insane valuation. They just had 762,000 of revenue and trailing net income of negative 50 million. No forward PE. Okay, the stock's basically been flat. Designs, develops, manufactures, and sells semiconductor products and services for commercial applications in the US, Canada, Singapore, and China. They offer photogenic integrated packaging solutions based on the Poet Optical Interposer, a novel platform that allows seamless integration of electronic and photonic devices into a single chip. Wow. Let's go check this out. Oh, it powers AI. I stand corrected. AI, excuse me. Unlock the full power of artificial intelligence with Poet Technologies' revolutionary optical interposer hardware products. Okay, let's go look. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, I see a little wafer here. This looks like a zip drive. I don't know what I'm looking at. I'll be perfectly honest. Okay. Our vision for the company is to become the global leader in chip-scale photonic solutions. Wow. We're going to save the world, bro. All right, let's look at the financials, and I guess we can look into the company a little bit more. We'll use AI, bro. Okay, so revenue's all over the place. I mean, they've been able to spike it up recently, but this company has a long way to go, okay? So the most recent quarter, they made just about 300,000 in revenue. And they had a gross margin of 100%. Oh, my God. Operating margin of negative 320,000. Or sorry, 3,201%. Profit margin of negative 3,139%. Free cash flow margin of negative 1,065%. Huge issuance in shares. Okay. Very speculative. Burning cash, obviously, shocker. What have they been doing? Okay, some capital expenditures. Not much recently, though. What, do they divest of something for $97,000? Okay. Ugh, this chart's ugly. Okay, they're paying off some debt. They're basically mostly relying on stock. Let's look at their balance sheet. Okay, so they got 92 million of cash and short-term investments. They've been raising a ton of cash. So 92 million of cash and burning about 2 million in operating cash flow a quarter. So they got plenty of freaking cash. Plenty of cash. They'll be fine for a while. 40 million of current liabilities. Not much unearned revenue. I mean, it's spiked recently, but usually when you get unearned revenue, that's an indicator that companies are throwing money at you. They're giving you money, and you just have to deliver the product or service. Just the service generally. I mean, it's gone up, but it's not crazy. $619,000. Okay, they got about 13 million of property, plant, equipment, and no long-term debt, at least according to stock analysis, or it's minuscule, $31,000. So all of their long-term debt is leases. I mean, so their balance sheet's fine. Like, they're very well capitalized. But they will be burning cash probably for the foreseeable future. Okay, so we see a company that has almost no revenue, but has a nice little balance sheet due to a bunch of stock issuance. Let's do some AI research. Who does Poet Technologies compete with? They compete in the photonics and semiconductor space, facing established giants like Intel, never heard of them, Broadcom, who's that, and Cisco. What? Specialist startups such as AR Labs, Celestial AI, stupid, Ranovus, and HC Photonics, and potentially even in-house efforts by hyperscalers. Wow, there's no competition. Key rivals offer integrated photonics solutions. Okay, so I mean, how does this company even differentiate itself? How is Poet Technologies different from competitors? Due to its patented Poet optical interposer platform, which enables wafer-level passive integration of electronic and photonic components. Okay. Okay, what's it called? Okay. Let's see. What are some challenges Poet's technology faces for wider adoption? Transition from development to high volume production. Successfully moving from its pilot projects and samples to large scale productions and sales in their Malaysia and China facilities. Yield issues, early wafer level integration process sometimes face low usable die counts per wafer. Okay. Are they partnering? Are they discussing partnerships and sales agreements with any large corporations? All right, they're collaborating with Mitsubishi, Foxconn. Why is this company so highly valued? Why is the valuation of this company so high? Is it based off retail investors? Speculation about its future potential in the booming AI data center market. The market is pricing the company as an innovative, high-growth platform expected to scale its unique technology. I honestly just don't understand the technology. I mean, to be perfectly honest, like, if you look at the valuation, it's crazy. And I don't know if it's because retail clowns are buying this or if there's something that I don't see. Okay, that's one of the two solutions. I mean, do you even understand what they do? I mean, look at this. Look at this market cap. It's just going ballistic. I don't know what to tell you, man. Let's go look at YouTube. Poet stock. Who's talking about it? Okay, we have Finance Podcast with Armand Negociana. He's got 61 views. Okay. Look at this guy. He's looks maxed. I wonder if he uses Botox. Okay, we got this weirdo here. Who is this? Who is this guy? Brett the stock picker? Okay. Oh, so Brett the stock picker has been talking about it. Yeah, I don't know, man. That valuation's crazy. Tell me more. I don't freaking know. All right, man, we got another one. Jesus, you people are printing tendies for me tonight. Any Venmos? Bats test for the laughs? Bats. What is bats? All right, we'll go look at bats. And yes, we'll get to member-only comments once I finish these. Bats. That can't be it. Let me Google it. Bats test? You talking about British American tobacco? What do you mean by that? Is it British American tobacco? British American tobacco. All right, I'm checking for your comments. Hold on, God, there's a lot of people on. Jeez. Oh, test stock. What is test? I'll share my screen in a second. Hold on. Oh, this is a good one. Well, we might take some time with this one. Okay. Yeah, here you go. Okay, this is a hilarious one. This is absolutely hilarious. Yield Max Tesla Performance and Distribution Target 25 ETF. Okay, we need to go to the Yield Max website. Yield Max test. Can Yield Max just go bankrupt? Like, these people are sick. What is this? This fund does not invest directly in Tesla. Investing in the fund involves a high degree of risk. Yeah, I would imagine so. The annual 25% target is not a guarantee, nor does it represent a 25% yield or a 25% total return. Really? Hey guys, I have a suggestion. If you like a company, why don't you just buy the company? So Yield Max newest evolution is, now we're only going to do 25% yield because those other yields were crazy and people were starting to catch on. But if we lower the yields, people will think it's more conservative, bro. We like to create the illusion of income when all that matters is total return. That's all that matters. But I got to get my dividends. Yeah, you know what my dividends are? You know, if I need money, you know what I do? I would sell some of my stocks. Yeah, that's what I would do. I know that's sacrilege. You can't sell your stocks. No, I guess that's worse than getting a fake yield. Why choose this fund? Number one, I'm an idiot. Designed for income and growth. Testes seeks to generate consistent weekly income while maintaining meaningful exposure to the performance of Tesla. The fund aims to balance the pursuit of income with the potential for NAV growth over time. Sure. Test builds on the foundation of Yield Max option income strategies by introducing a next generation approach, guys, that targets a 25% annual. lies. They're just picking random distribution rates. That's all they're doing. What's the next step? 20, 15? How are you people falling for this? Built for today's market, with markets demanding flexibility and discipline. Yeah, very disciplined investors are buying this. Test employs a modern framework designed to adapt to changing conditions. All right, distribution rate, 25%. This is the new grift, I guess. SEC yield, nothing. Return of capital, 94%. The most recent distribution contains 94% return of capital and 5.82% income. Why don't you just keep my capital yield, Max, and make money off of it? Why are you giving me my money back? I bought this investment so you could take my money and make money with it. Why are you just giving me my money back? I could just sell. So stupid. The distribution rate is the annual rate an investor would receive if the most recently declared distribution, which includes option income, remain the same going. Okay, so it's just a guess. Okay, it's the same grift. The only thing they've done is they just made the distribution rate lower. So the morons are like, oh, this is more sustainable. It's the same concept. They're picking a random yield and in a lot of cases, just giving you your own money back. It's the same thing. They just lowered the distribution rate. God, this is stupid. 0.99% expense ratio. 2.66 million assets under management. God, this is such a joke. Okay, so they've had 3 distributions, and it's 93% return to capital, 57%, 94%. This is so stupid. All right, what are their holdings? So they have American government obligations, so I guess treasuries, government debt, T-bills, cash, T-bills, I guess Tesla calls and Tesla puts. Wow. This is so stupid. Oh, but the website's so pretty. Look at the shiny colors. Wow. Testes ETF. This is such a joke. Hold on a minute. Summary prospectus. All right, option strategy. The fund sells options on the underlying security, receiving premiums from counterparties. These premiums are an important driver of the fund's distribution. On a weekly basis, the advisor uses one or more option strategies to seek to generate net premiums with a target of approximately 2.2% per month. Yeah, wow. Okay. Distributions may include a significant portion classified as return of capital. And we do that because we know retail people are morons and they think that the whole distribution is actually income, when in fact, it's the illusion of income. ROC represents a return of a shareholder's invested capital and traditional income. They're telling you. Okay, and they talk about Tesla. Oh, Tesla. I know what Tesla is, but I want Tesla. I want income from Tesla. So stupid. This is a joke, but a funny recommendation. Thank you. That was pretty good. I enjoyed that one. All right. Butt plug. All right, so he sent me DKK 67. 6'7", bro. I've heard of this meme 6'7". I don't know what it means. It's probably something stupid. All right, 67 DKK. Oh, Danish krona. Oh, he's $10.52. Okay. I'll take it. Butt plug power. I remember this company, I think. Plug my bug. Oh my Lord. Oh, oh, mommy. So it's a $2 stock. Wow, guys, that chart is definitely pricing in a company that's totally not at risk of going bankrupt. Well, hey, Carvana did the same thing, and then it went up 1,000,000,000%. So maybe I'm wrong. All right, Plug develops hydrogen fuel cells, product solutions in America, Europe, and Asia. They offer the Gen Drive, a hydrogen-fueled proton exchange membrane fuel cell system that provides power to material handling EVs. GenSure, a stationary fuel cell solution that offers modular PEM. I don't know what any of this means. Let's go to the website. All right, here's butt plug. Plug Power special meeting. They had a special meeting. If you own shares of Plug Power, I was reading that. Why did this move? Sustainable fuel cell products for an electrified world. Oh, yeah. You know where all the electricity is going? It's going to data centers, okay? That's going to make electric cars more expensive. Electricity rates are going up. You know what's cheap right now? Gas. Hydrogen fuel cells electrifying. Real products, real customers. Okay. Okay, hydrogen power. Okay, I see some buildings. Okay, I guess Amazon's using some. First customer fill of liquid green hydrogen. Okay, they're delivering some hydrogen in this picture. We have a girl smiling in a warehouse. Wow. All right, let's go look at the financials. Okay, number one, what does that stock price tell you, people? $2.7 billion in market cap, $676 million of trailing revenue, net income of negative $2 billion, no forward PE, and an analyst price target of $2.11. All right. Revenue, my avenue. So revenue's basically gone nowhere in 5 years. Let's see margins. They don't even have They don't even make money on the products they sell. They're losing money on the products that they sell. At least have a positive. Even Tattooed Chef had a positive gross margin in most quarters. Horrible gross margin. So every product they sell, they lose money on, not even including operating expenses. Operating margin, negative 139%. Free cash flow margin, negative 67%. Where's their interest expense? Okay, I guess their debt's not that crazy. I mean, yeah, I guess their debt's not that crazy. Let's look at their balance sheet. They have $165 million of cash and short-term investment. Look at they just incinerated cash. Look at this. Look at this incineration. This is like Hyliion's twin brother. $192 million of accounts receivable, and it's been contracting. All right, so they got $1.1 billion of current assets, $902 million of current liabilities. They got a lot of debt coming due, but they're going to have to refinance that, I guess. All right, property, plant, equipment. They got about $1 billion of PP&E. Huge drop. What did they like? I don't know if that was an impairment or they sold something. Okay, so they got $1 billion of property, plant, and equipment. $332 million of long-term debt. Okay. Let's see the cash flow. Oh my God. In the most recent quarter, they burned $89 million of cash. The quarter before, they burned $191 million just in operations. And then you add capital expenditures, that's an additional $30-40 million. So you're looking at minimum $100 million plus being burned a quarter. They're very low on cash. How many shares have they been issuing? Where's the share count? Yeah. They're in the death spiral. So they're burning cash hand over fist. They're at penny stock levels. So they can't raise. They have to issue a ton of shares to generate any cash. So you're going to see massive dilution events. This is poop. I'm sorry. This is not good. Loss. Okay. Apparently they had a huge divestiture in Q4 of 2024, and they lost $2.5 million on it. Or is that billion? Good God. Yeah, I think that's $1 billion. Asset write-downs. This company's cooked. This company is cooked. Okay? They're on the death spiral. What's the bull case? Honestly. There's probably a pretty good chance they're eventually going to go bankrupt. That's my humble opinion. That's just there's nothing positive. They're burning cash. Their margins are awful. Negative, massively negative gross margins. It's a penny stock. They can't raise capital. What's the bull case? Oh, somebody's going to acquire them? Maybe. What's the bull case? This thing's a joke. I'm sure it's popular on YouTube, though. This reminds me of the clown market. So, no, not a fan. Not a fan. Oh, okay. This is a good one. I like this one. We're going to have to close up in about 10 minutes. So, I guess just hold off on Super Chats, or if you want to Venmo me, I can do it on the next one, but we got to close this up pretty soon. All right. Huey asks, all right, what's your typical breakfast, lunch, dinner, supplements, and sleep schedule, Gorilla Man? All right, so breakfast. So here's what I do. I get up at 7:35, and I'm at work by 8 o'clock or 8:05. Sometimes I show up a little late, but it's okay. But I don't have breakfast. So I literally subsist off of, I have about 2 or 3 cups of coffee and a couple nicotine pouches in the morning. That's the routine. And then at exactly 11 o'clock, maybe 11:01 sometimes, maybe 10:59 sometimes, I leave my work, I get in my hot Ford Fiesta, and I drive to Chipotle. When I go to Chipotle, I get a chicken burrito. And here's exactly what I get. And I do this almost every day, but I'm cut this out, obviously, next year. I do a burrito. I do white rice, black beans, and chicken. And then I do tomatoes or pico de gallo, whatever, hot sauce, sour cream, cheese, and lettuce. I get that, and I get a water cup because I don't drink. I mean, I like diet. I'll drink Diet Coke, but I don't drink like regular Coke. Anything that has like sugar, I don't do that. So at Chipotle, I get a water cup, and it costs me $10.16, and I get a big fat burrito. Okay, so I sit down at Chipotle, I eat the burrito, then I get in my car, I go back. I'll usually stop at 7-Eleven, and I'll get like sugar-free energy drinks. Like 7-Eleven, they have these I forget the brand name, but you can get 5 or 3 for like $5.50. So I usually get those, or whatever's on sale, basically. I'll get that, and I'll have an energy drink. When I get back to the office, sometimes I'll have a small bowl of jalapeno chips, because I don't want to buy chips at Chipotle, because, I mean, that's how you lose your money. If you get guac, you get a drink, you get guac and a drink. The add-ons are what cost you money. But if you just get a burrito and a water cup, it's $10. And it's actually, I feel full. It sustains me. So that's my lunch. That's literally all I eat. And then I'll have, a coffee maybe. I'll have the energy drink, and then I'll have a coffee. And I always cut off caffeine at 3 p.m. That's the latest I'll have caffeine. Then I go to the gym usually. And for dinner, it really depends. So sometimes for dinner, I'll make pasta and sausage. So I'll get whole wheat pasta sauce, and like hot spicy Italian sausage from Food Lion. So I'll make that. I'll make the sausage I have like a little George Foreman, and then I'll just cook the pasta, and I mix it all into one big bowl. It's pretty good. Actually, it's cheap, and it lasts me for 2 meals. Sometimes I'll get rotisserie chickens. Sometimes I do Trader Joe's. Like I'll get like a quesadilla. What else do I have for dinner? Yeah, that's generally it. I mean, I know how to cook. I just don't have time. Like if I'm really lazy, I'll have like chicken nuggets. Oh, and there's also so when I go to not Trader Joe's, when I go to Food Lion, they have like a meat area. Like they have like fresh meat. So sometimes I'll get like chicken wings and I'll get like ribs. They have ribs. So sometimes I'll eat that. That's usually, I mean, I don't have a diverse set of dinners that I eat, but generally it's something at home. So I eat out generally once a day and it costs me $10. Don't eat breakfast. And the dinner is usually at home. Supplements, I take 0 supplements. The only supplement I take is melatonin. So my schedule is at 10:30, I put down all electronics. Sometimes I'll cheat and I'll do 10:45. Maybe sometimes 11, okay? But generally, I pop a melatonin at 10:30, 10:45, and I read a book until I literally just fall asleep. So I'll be reading the book, and once I stop retaining the information and then, my vision gets blurry, then I know it's time to go night-night. Usually that's like 11:20, 11:30. And I fall asleep about 11:30, sometimes 12. And then I get up and I do it again. So I get about 7.5, 8 hours of sleep. And by the time I go to bed, I'm crashed. I'm done. Because I've had a full day. I worked out, I did YouTube or whatever I'm freaking doing. I have my kids, whatever it is, I'm freaking done, son. So that's my routine. I usually don't eat breakfast. Now, coming up next year, I think my routine, I'm going to eat breakfast. So I'll probably get up at 7:30. I'm going to have a breakfast, probably like a light breakfast, maybe like a bowl of Cheerios. I just do like generic Cheerios when I do eat breakfast, and probably like almond or oat milk. And the only reason I buy that is because it doesn't expire. I like regular milk, but it just expires so fast. So I'll usually have like oat milk. I don't buy Oatly. I do not buy Oatly on principle. So I'm probably going to have breakfast, like Cheerios and a banana cut up into it. Then I'm going to do the market open. As soon as the market opens over, I'm going to scoot over to the gym, come back, shower, eat a delicious lunch at home, homemade burrito maybe, I don't know, something. And then I'm going to do the Daily Clown Report. Then I'm going to shut that off. Then I don't know what I'm going to do between that and market close, but it'll be Daily Clown Report, so probably in the early afternoon. Then I'll do market close. After market close, I'll do this stream, and I'll be done for the day. That's kind of my routine, like outside of tax season. During tax season, I mean, I'll try to do market open and close every day, but I'm obviously going to prioritize tax preparation over YouTube. That's my focus next year is tax. But outside of tax season, yeah, I'm going to try to do at least 4 streams a day during the week. And then maybe I'll do more, maybe I'll do less. I don't know. But the goal is to try to do 4 streams. So I have a very fixed routine. And I think that'll work out well. So that's what I do. Hopefully that was a sufficient answer. I think that was $8 worth. Any Venmos? No. All right, let's do some member-only comments for a couple minutes, and then we're getting out of here. God, there's so many comments. So many comments. But thank you all for your generous donations. Mohammed, Hui, Remixer, another free member from the massively major. Rugged individual, yes, I am. And Hui was very generous tonight. Poet, Test, disgusting company, a disgusting ETF, Butt Plug, Disaster, and that was the most entertaining one, not going to lie. All right, member-only comments. We'll do a couple. I got to close out in like 10 or 15 minutes. I'm going out tonight, guys. I'm going to get my dollar bills. All right. I wonder how many positive comments I got from Alan Carlson. And yes, you kind of are. Since your Rue Rabble circle besides Jay Naki has tried to become grifters, but fail in comparison to Jeremy and me, Kevin. I get, when it comes to grifting, Jeremy is beating me. You're dating someone. What's his name? Bob. Alan and Gil going to ring in the new year hanging from your dong. Yeah, they're probably upset I'm closing this out pretty soon. They're like, strong man, just do a stream until midnight. No. Comes out at 8 p.m. Oh, 5 minutes. Get excited. Happy New Year's Eve to the beautiful strong man and the good luck on your own in the new year. Thank you very much. Low Bob. I don't think Strongman and Cashflow King realize that just because you suck at grifting doesn't make you a better person. That is true. If you're trying to grift and you're failing, you're still trying to grift. Capital Mindset Discord. When are we getting the daily clown reports? Definitely after tax season. Now, if tax season's slow, like sometimes there's lulls. Sometimes I'm just like, all right, I did all my returns. What now? You know, I'll try to stream more, but I'm always going to prioritize taxes. Always going to prioritize taxes. Strongman grifts, and his defense is always, he isn't as bad as others, like that would hold up in court. Court? I'm going to court? Then he tries to spin it as he's joking, but it's not. Only regards say, I don't have TDS. I voted for him, okay? Cashflow Games keeps expecting me to show up to their live streams. I never remember when they're streaming. No one else does. Yeah, I'm sure they're so upset without you, Alan. I'm sure they're just heartbroken you're not there. Cashflow Kings will put you in timeout, prevent you from commenting if you disagree with them or push back even one bit. Gil, I'm sure you flood their comments, okay? I'm not surprised. They want you to be a yes man. Oh, right. I remember they did that to you. You helped stimulate their dead live chat. Another year, I'm green in my trading, even in crypto. I'm green too from VT, and I did nothing. Thank Ethereum and Peanut the squirrel. Ethereum. Didn't that collapse? Wow, great job. You must have ignored Strongman's advice. Yeah, I made no money this year, bro. Happy New Year. Same to you. Wow, someone should pay me to ask ChatGPT a question. That wasn't ChatGPT, first of all. And I'm just doing basic DD. Because I look at the financials and I'm like, oh, what happened with this? And I can go Google it real quick. It's pretty convenient. I like it. I mean, obviously you can't trust it all the time, but it is convenient. It's quite funny seeing Dan expose himself to me. Dan loves to project his failures and insecurities onto me. They blocked you from commenting. Dan is obsessed with you. Gil, how's that game coming along? All right. Let's do other comments besides Gil. We're all impressed with your manga game. And Gil, we need to see the game, bro. We need to see the game. Congratulations on your anime. Oh, there's an anime game now? Where is it? The massively major forcing this channel. He has saved the channel. I don't know what I'd do without him. Let's say Recon Pro 2026 is a 2008. Are we going into a 2008 crisis, Gil? Could you tell me the exact date so I can buy a bunch of puts? If you believe in numerology. Oh, is that your investment plan? Just go off numerology? That's the thesis, numerology, bro. Recon Pro, most highly successful billionaires and millionaires, athletes, celebrities incorporate numerology. That must be the secret, guys. That's why I'm not a millionaire. I don't use numerology. Oh, Lord. We are all Americans' last hope. I'm counting on you, Gil. Gil, the tassiographer? What is that? So OBE is baby CNQ. Nice. Zinni ghosts. Trump is the partner in chief. Well, when Biden left, they pardoned a ton. Oh my, it was an ungodly amount of pardons. They did pardons in advance. That's kind of incriminating, right? Like, why would you pardon in advance? I mean, obviously they did it to like protect against political persecution, bro. All right. I was thinking we're all better off staying away from college soy boys. I don't hang out with college kids. I feel good because the amount is all ones. I did the conversation first. Let's see. Oh, there's Dan. Happy New Year. Let's see. Gil, change your name to 42% loser. Happy New Year. Dan, enjoy your New Year's Day off, Wagey. Don't forget to report back to work after the holidays. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, Kid Freshy's in the comments. Too bad I can't pull it up because he's not a member. Loser. All right, Gil's launching 2 games, apparently. God, half my comments are freaking Gil, man. Poet paid YouTubers to pump them. Yeah, there's something that was an interesting company. I can flip you the docs. It was in 2024, I think. Maybe I could expose Poet. Yeah, that company was insanely high valuations. I mean, maybe I was missing something. What an evening watching Strongman and then at 8 Stranger Things. It's 8 o'clock. Time to go. Buying as much Roblox as I can. Business models, phenomenal. Market undervalues. Because it's kind of like the YouTube of I mean, I think I saw you mention that. You said it's like the YouTube of video games because creators can make games and then people can buy them with Robux. I mean, that's a pretty cool model. That is pretty interesting. Dan, we don't care about your Gil tracker. Gil is the man of the people. You are a thin-skinned man who blocks people. Should I be paying taxes on my $60K cash flow from real estate? My CPA can't get my taxes down to 0. Sometimes you just got to pay taxes, man. You know, I mean, a CPA's job is not to like commit fraud or whatever, or make up deductions to get your tax to 0. If you have a profitable rental property and your depreciation and your expenses aren't high enough to offset all the rental income, then yeah. The only thing with real estate, you got to be careful with, the passive loss carryovers. Because a lot of people, like when you start with real estate, you usually losing money, at least on your tax return, maybe not from a cash basis, from a cash flow standpoint, but you might be unprofitable on your tax return, and you have those passive losses, which can only be offset by passive income, unless you're like a real estate professional or whatever. So you want to make sure you're carrying those over every year until you start to turn a profit on your tax return, and then you can actually offset those profits with those disallowed losses from your rental when you first got it. That's the important thing with real estate. So, but I mean, like, if sometimes you just make money, that's just what it is. It's valued high because they paid ticker symbol. Oh, ticker symbol U is a scumbag. Okay. You'd probably derail the Discord like you do the chat skill. I'm shocked he hasn't joined. Gil, I did 19 reps. Man, you're really hitting the gym hard, dude. Yeah, I try not to go too heavy because I kept getting injured when I was lifting all the time. So I'm like, I'm just going to lift lighter weight. What do I rep? I think I rep like 185 now on the bench. Yeah. I used to like rep like 225 and maybe I could do 235. And then I'd always get a freaking injury. And then I'd have to stop lifting for a month or two. And it was an annoying cycle. So I just said, I'm just going to drop the weight and do more reps. That's kind of how I do it. Let's see. Poet paid ticker symbol U $60,000. I remember this. What a scumbag. Gil, Strong. Oh, that's true. Didn't Strongman offer you a dedicated? Yeah, we'll give you a dedicated channel, but you can only post in that channel, Gil. It'll be Gil's Lair. I'm not a fan of Discords. Mine's cool, though. Mine's the best Discord. Just continue to hold Bitcoin. It will rebound. Dan won't update his tracker. 40%. You have to sprinkle in some member comments in between the stock reviews, man. I mean, I guess. Yeah. I'm learning. It's a work in progress. I agree. Maybe I should do that. I got 10K in iBit too. That's all you, bro. Butt chug my butt plug. Y'all been keeping up with the Waymo? No, I haven't been tracking that. I had no profits. I'm not a breakfast eater. I used to eat breakfast when I was in the Army because I would get up and do PT in the morning. So I was hungry after I worked out. But now I roll out of bed. I'm sluggish. I have some coffee, nicotine pouches. I start to get amped around 9:30, 10. And then at 11 o'clock, I go have a Chipotle burrito. And it's really good. You don't count protein? Nope, I do not. Chipotle is great, but not the same as it was. Something changed. I mean, the one I go to is pretty good. I do melatonin too. It really improved my sleep. Heard melatonin is, well, if it is, whatever. Your body won't wake up as much. Oh, I wake up pretty good after I have coffee and nicotine pouches. Let's see. Oat milk. The only reason I do oat milk is because it doesn't expire. That's the main reason. If regular milk actually lasted like 2 months, yeah, I would use regular milk. But I kept buying regular milk, and then it would freaking expire. And then I have to go buy more. When I buy oat milk, I just put it in the fridge, and then occasionally I'll use it, and it's good to go. Kid Freshie, become a channel member. So Strongman will bring up your comments. Yeah, you should, Kid Freshie. Come on, man. If only we could gift to specific people. Or if Kid Freshie could pay for it. So what did we learn today? You learned a lot. You learned so much, bro. Okay, we got Giga Chat here. Happy New Year's, everybody. Yep, Happy New Year's. I think I know Bob. You know Bob? You cheating on me? Is Bob cheating on me with you? Exposed Poet. Yeah, total clown stock, dude. Good to see you, Strawman. Same to you, man. Hope you're doing well. Trump has deranged me. I think Poet is... There's something sketchy going on there. That's a crazy valuation for the revenues they're generating. What nicotine pouches? What brand? So I am not loyal to any brands, but recently I've been using these. And the reason I use these is I can get 2 of these for $6. It used to be 2 for $5, but I guess they either raise prices or they cut the discount. But I go to 7-Eleven and I get 2 of these babies for $6. So, and they're pretty good. They got wild berry. Sometimes I get wintergreen. They have mint, peppermint. I think it's peppermint. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good brand. But I mean, if they got rid of the discounts, I would probably go to another brand. I'm that type of consumer. I learned how to make egg Benedict. Now I eat breakfast. Yeah, I mean, I know how to make scrambled eggs. I know it's really hard to make, but I'd rather just get done fast. I don't want to deal with cleaning. When you eat cereal, I just pour the cereal in, pour the milk, cut up the banana, eat, and then I'm done. Happy New Year. Great live stream as usual. Hopping. Yep, enjoy. I'm about to get off too. I am going on a Greece cruise in May. Can I get you? Sure. I mean, yeah, I guess. How are you going to mail it to me? You need my home address, bro? If you DM me your address, I'll give you a brand to try. Sure. See, well, actually, Andrew, you know my address. But hey, if you're gonna send me free stuff, I'll be more than happy to take it. All right, guys, I think that's it. I need to get dressed. I'm about to go to the club, bro. And then at midnight, they're dropping cash from balloons. I'm gonna be on the floor like a little gremlin, scooping up the cash. You have a P? No, I don't have a PO box. I mean, I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, I'm not saying I don't trust you, but I'm hesitant to give out my address because there's so many freaking weirdos out there. Anyway, the reason I trust Andrew, you want to know why? Because I have his address too. I can have revenge if I wanted to. Good night. Have a fun night. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all the super chats, everybody. Like, subscribe. Consider joining as a member to support the channel and to have your comments read. Also consider booking a free, and I mean free, 30-minute tax consultation with me. I am a certified public accountant, and would gladly do your business and or personal taxes any state in the United States. You can talk to me for free. I give you upfront fixed quotes, and I'll do your taxes like a boss. Cheers.